Anywhere around the world and in Nigeria, this is nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. We'll begin with stories of national security, where President Bola Tinubu has insisted that his recent directive on the withdrawal of policemen providing personal security to people designated as very important personalities, VIPs, must be fully implemented. The president addressed this issue at commencement of the Federal Executive Council meeting this Wednesday. Our State House correspondent, Musbao Danwahab, joins us for the update. Musbao, tell us more on this issue.
Thank you for joining us. Recall that a few weeks ago, the president had a meeting with security heads in the country, and after that meeting, he gave some specific instructions to the security heads towards finding solutions to the security challenges in the country, and he directed particularly the police inspector general to withdraw all the police officers with VIPs in the country. And now that has generated a lot of reactions from Nigerians talking about the danger or threat that these VIP or some people are exposed to due to security situation in the country. Now, the president at the commencement of the FEC meeting this day addressed these reactions and gave some directions as well as directives again to security heads, particularly the Nigeria Police Force. Let's take a listen to the president.
I honestly believe in what I said, and I called on the IG. And so if you have any problem of security because of the nature of your assignment, please contact the IGP and get my clearance. The Minister for Interior should liaise with IGP and the civil defense structure to replace those police officers who are on special security duties, so that you don't leave people exposed. NSA and DSS to provide further information and form themselves into a committee and review the structure. It should be affected. We face challenges here and there of kidnapping and terrorism. We need all the forces that we can utilize. I know some of our people are exposed. I understand that we have to make exceptional provision for them, and the civil defense are equally armed. And I want to know that from NSA to arm our forest guards too. Take it very seriously. Okay.
Now, this is another demonstration by President Bola Tinubu that he follows and listens to what Nigerians are saying, their reactions to his policies and programs. And so we wait to see all the directive or directions given by the National Security Advisor as well as the Inspector General of Police on this issue. It's back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Musbao, for that update on the directive of Mr. President, which has been generating lots of reactions. And one of those reactions this moment is coming from the Nigerian Senate, which is urging the restoration of police orderly to 7 members of the National Assembly. At plenary this Wednesday, the Deputy President of the Senate, Barrow Jibrin, said the Senate leadership is making consultations with relevant authorities on the issue. Barrow was reacting to a point of order raised by Senator Abdul Ningi, in which he alleged that the executive order directing withdrawal of police from VIPs is being flouted.
That we know Mr. President's directive is in order and quite proper. But I want to assure you that the issue raised by, to protect you, is taken seriously. And the leadership sat yesterday, agreed that the course of action should be undertaken in order to restore your police orders to you, because it's in line with international best practice. So, and I'm sure we have a listening president. He will listen to us, and by grace of God, he will exempt us from that order.
Still in the National Assembly, the Senate says it will do everything within the law to support the security agencies and Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to tackle incessant crude oil theft in the country. Chairman Senate's Ad Hoc Committee on Oil Theft, Senator Ned Nwoko, stated this during an engagement with the management of the NNPCL at its headquarters in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Issa Muhammad has more.
This visit is in continuation of investigations into the crude oil theft in the Niger Delta region. The committee assured Nigerians that it will apply all necessary mechanisms within its legal power to bring to an end activities of pipelines vendors to enhance production and block leakages.
We've gotten very, as I said, credible documentary evidence of crude oil theft over a period of time, totaling about $300 billion.
The management of the NNPCL, led by Tairu Gorzo, appreciates the committee for the visit outlining progress and challenges of the NNPCL.
Today we boast of, 100% pipeline availability. We tell the world, come and invest. Our lines are green. You will get the crude that you pump at the terminal, the export terminal, wherever you need your crude. So we really dominated the problems, as it were, on land and swamp.
The committee members also took a tour of the NNPCL surveillance system for first-class information on the activities of the company in tackling the oil theft. In Abuja, Issa Muhammad, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has summoned the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, to appear before its Committee on Public Accounts to explain the Apex Bank's non-remittance of more than 5 trillion naira operating surplus and 11 trillion naira revenue accruing to government coffers. Adopting a motion by the Chairman House Committee on Public Accounts, Bamidele Salam, the House notes that the alleged financial liability include charges collected in administration of the remitter revenue collection system by the Apex Bank, which have not been remitted to government coffers between March 2015 to April 2016. This and other infractions the House reviewed were cited in the Auditor General of the Federation's report for 2022, which indicted several agencies of government alongside the Central Bank of Nigeria.
And invitations extended to the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria by the Public Accounts Committee to appear, provide explanations, and remit the outstanding amount into designated government account. The Central Bank of Nigeria has failed, refused, or neglected to honor the invitations or effect the required remittances as directed by the committee. Cognizant that at a time like this, when the nation is confronted with acute revenue shortages, heightened insecurity, and pressing developmental needs, the prompt recovery of all government funds is critical for national stability and economic sustainability.
Mr. President should pay attention to this revelation from a committee that is a creation of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This committee, as every other committees, if they had gone this far, I don't want us to frustrate them because of tomorrow, so that other committees may not bring this type of issue up again on this floor, because they know that once it is brought up, this House will now go and to set up another committee to come and do all the job they have done this far.
My intention, Mr. Speaker, let me tell you this. Some chairman of the committee has lost respect from the agencies they are supervising. If you change a pace, you can get that attention. That's my reason, that's my intention. But Mr. Speaker, in the light of this, I'm hereby withdrawing that amendment to report this matter to the standing committee.
Honorable Nepalas, Honorable Mark Esset, clearly stated in our rule book, and the Public Accounts Committee being a
There was, however, a mild drama on the floor as members were initially divided on whether the investigation should be carried out by an ad hoc committee. The House resolved to allow the Public Accounts Committee continue with the investigation. Nigeria's multi-agency anti-kidnapping cell operating under the office of the National Security Advisor is reassessing its strategies and operational tactics in response to the growing threats of kidnapping across the country. Coordinator of the National Counter-Terrorism Center, Major General Adamu Laka, says the review has become necessary as kidnapping networks adopt more sophisticated and dynamic methods. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
Kidnapping in Nigeria is said to be on the increase despite ongoing efforts to combat the challenge. Armed groups are using ransom proceeds to acquire more weapons and reinforce their criminal activities. To counter these evolving threats, the Office of the National Security Advisor, with support from the UK government, set up the multi-agency anti-kidnapping fusion cell. 12 months after its establishment, the center is stepping up its approach, a major component of the renewed effort towards strengthening the multi-agency anti-kidnapping cells to improve intelligence sharing, deepen operational coordination, and enhance rapid response.
Despite notable successes, certain operational gaps have been identified, particularly the need to integrate key stakeholders such as the media, telecommunication operators, and social media platforms into the kidnapping response framework. This workshop, therefore, provides a timely opportunity to deliberate on how these stakeholders can be effectively integrated into the multi-agency kidnap fusion cell architecture.
This initiative has been designed as a Nigeria-owned solution, supported by international experience, but tailored to Nigeria's own unique challenges. And the objective has always been to create a multi-agency approach for tackling the threat and using a range of resources to tackle the impact of kidnapping.
Of importance to this initiative is a growing partnership with the British government, which is supporting the efforts to reposition the anti-kidnapping cell for improved national impact. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Elsewhere, Nigeria and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia have signed a memorandum of understanding to strengthen defense and military cooperation. Signing on behalf of the federal government, the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, says the agreement establishes a framework for cooperation covering training and joint exercises, technical assistance, intelligence exchange, logistics, and other mutually agreed activities. It is to enhance internal security, cooperation in counter-terrorism and intelligence sharing to support efforts against violent extremism and organized crime. The federal government is tackling the security challenges facing the country headlong and prosecuting those who are involved in the acts of terrorism in line with the law. The Attorney General of the Federation and Justice Minister, Lateef Fagbemi, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, disclosed this while receiving U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for Democracy, Human Rights and Labor, Riley Bands, and U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills, in Abuja. Dele Atsumbi of our Judiciary Desk reports.
General of the Federation and Justice Minister, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN, told the U.S. delegation on a fact-finding mission to the country that the federal government has secured the conviction of 860 terrorists in the last 8 years. Fagbemi, SAN, explained that those arrested for terrorism acts were tried and convicted by courts of competent jurisdiction. He pointed out that the convictions were secured in an open court in line with the due process of the law. Fagbemi, SAN, who noted that the visit afforded the federal government the opportunity to explain the security situation to its visiting U.S. delegation, expressed happiness that the U.S. delegation was able to see things for itself.
The one that concerns the Federal Ministry of Justice is about the prosecution of the people arrested in connection with these extremism and about extremism. So, and we were able to explain to them and tell them how far we have gone, what we are also doing. For instance, today, as we speak, terrorism trial is still going on. I have been there today. I have taken one or two of the cases, and I want to seize this opportunity to let you know that as at today, that is from 2017 and 2000 to 2025, we have secured 860 convictions and 891 acquittals, that is discharges. What this speaks to, particularly the issue of discharges of the defendants, is that we don't just arrest people and clamp them into prison. We follow due process. They are profiled. Those who have nothing to do will be left off the hook.
The chief law officer admitted that though the country faces security challenges, the federal government is equally tackling the issues which have no religious undertone. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Let's switch to other news. December 10th, world over, is celebrated as International Human Rights Day. Commemorating the day, the National Human Rights Commission took to the streets of Abuja to sensitize Nigerians on the importance of the day. Omenka Amarachuku completes the report.
December 10th is significant day as it's observed as Human Rights Day, commemorating the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the United Nations General Assembly in 1948. Recognizing its importance, the National Human Rights Commission is using the day as a reminder of equality, freedom, and dignity for individuals.
The spirit of today's gathering echoes the timeless messages encapsulated in the promotion, protection, and enforcement of human rights for all in Nigeria. Our work is not rooted in protest, but in unity, not in anger, but we resolve to uphold human rights, not as spectators, but as active participants in shaping a Nigeria where every right is protected, every voice matters, and no one is left behind in the promotion and protection of human rights.
Together we have the power to confront these injustices by protecting the institutions that make human rights a life reality.
The day also featured reflections on progress made and challenges ahead in promoting human rights in Nigeria. In Abuja, Omenka Amarachuku, NTA News.
From Abuja, let's go over to the northeast, where Borno State Police Command is applying its operational wherewithal to effectively tackle emerging security threats that are being experienced in Maiduguri, especially car and phone thefts, as well as culpable homicide. Abubakar Musa reports.
Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, had in recent times experienced peace, cohesion and tranquility among its diverse communities, a development that brought huge relief to residents. However, the resurgence of criminal activities like phone snatching, vandalism, murder, drug trafficking as well as car theft remains an issue of growing concern in some parts of Maiduguri, particularly among soft targets. Borno State Police Command, Police Community Relations Committee (PCRC) and other sister organizations are showing unrelenting commitment to nip emerging security challenges in the board.
Police are working for the public, and we are the public, and we must work with them because community policing, security is everybody's responsibility. Therefore, we must help our security agencies, not only police, even the Nigerian Army and other security agencies.
Stakeholders say sustained intelligence sharing and being vigilant of suspicious persons or objects within the community are instrumental in addressing all forms of insecurity, as restoration of peace, cohesion and tranquility lies in collective efforts. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
We'll remain with Abubakar Musa on what the police is doing differently to combat car theft, phone snatching and violence in Borno. Let's hear from Abubakar right now on this development.
Good evening, Ayodeji, and thank you for joining us. Though Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, and environs have experienced emerging security challenges like culpable homicide and car theft recently, I can tell you without mincing words that such criminal activities are not likely to thrive. And this is not unconnected with the fact that there is a significant drop right now in the number of sympathizers and collaborators of criminals, unlike what used to obtain in the past. Most residents of Maiduguri are now showing unprecedented enthusiasm in providing security organizations with relevant information against any issue that will disrupt the prevailing peace, cohesion, and tranquility being enjoyed across the state. I must also tell you that the residents of Maiduguri have had enough of these security challenges and are not retreating this time around because they are afraid everyone may bear the brunt if such security challenges continue. Well, I have with me here the Commissioner of Police in charge of Borno State Command in the person of CP Naziru Abdul Majid. Good evening to you once again, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, NTA.
Okay, sir, why is the Borno State Police Command more responsive to emerging security challenges more than ever before?
Well, in the emerging security challenges now, we are adopting measures as directed by the IGP, Mr. Kade Ebetokun, Phase D, MPM, by adopting some measures like increase in intelligence gathering by sourcing actionable information to be on board the crime and criminality. We are also adopting a community policy by engaging the stakeholders. What I mean stakeholders is that traditional rulers, youth, clerics, and also market women. We are also embarking on a visibility policy by aggressive patrol and both foot and vehicular patrol so that to deter the criminals and will be criminalities. And lastly, we are synergizing with the other security assistance agencies so that we have a crime-free Maiduguri and environment so that people can go about their normal activities unmolested.
Thank you very much for talking to us, sir, and our best wishes to you in your unshakable resolve to tackle emerging security challenges.
You're welcome, please.
That will be it for now. From here, Ayodeji is back to you.
Thanks so much, Abubakar, for that update. It's interesting to know that there is an increased collaboration between the people and the police, and of course, breathing a new level of optimism for a secure Borno State this Yuletide season and beyond. Thank you once again for your contribution. Back in the day, the law faculty class of 2005, Ahmadu Bello University earned a reputation. 20 years down the line, classmates reunite to crack jokes about it and reflect on life and career at an anniversary celebration. Deborah Balagbobo reports that talks of improving the legal system are also on the table.
Here are members of Board of Benchers, senior advocates of Nigeria, judges of Supreme Courts. The list goes on and on. All from the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria's Law Faculty class of 2005. Listening as one of their former lecturers takes them down memory lane to those days the class identified as the most controversial class ever witnessed by the faculty receives lectures on improving the legal system in the country.
Now, they need to recalibrate, they need to reset, and everybody in his small way contribute in a way and manner to ensure always actions are guided by the law, in compliance with the law, and then discourage acting outside the law.
We are here to further encourage one another and plan for the many more years ahead of us.
Senior advocates, industry players, we have them all in our class, so it's a remarkable day.
20 years from now, we should come back here and celebrate more, and also celebrate how we are contributing to the growth and development of this country.
It's an amazing class. There's no class I'd say I'd rather be.
It was very complex, but we all found a way to move together.
Together today, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. Reliving memories,
and then catching up.
For them, the evening was not just about whining and dining, but another nudge in their conscience to uphold equity, integrity, and the rule of law as they serve humanity in the temple of justice. In Abuja, Deborah Balagbubu, NTA News.
Let's go to the Center of Excellence, our Lagos Network Center, and Awal will take it on from here. Over to you, Awal.
And welcome to Lagos. The current national security environment remains complex, characterized by asymmetric threats across various regions. In response to recent security developments, including an uptick in violent extremism and mass abductions, the federal government, through presidential directives, has shifted to an emergency response mode. Lynn Leneke reports on these shifts and how Lagos is tackling the issue in line with its mandate to protect residents from any and all threats.
The federal government has moved decisively, invoking measures that signal a security state of emergency. This response is anchored on three key pillars aimed at immediately bolstering defense and intelligence capabilities, recruitment, manpower, sophisticated equipment, and community-driven intelligence.
A robust security architecture is essential for Nigerian stability and development. The security sector reforms should focus on community policing, intelligence, lead policing, and modernizing security infrastructure.
Lagos State, with its unique challenges as a densely populated commercial coastal megacity, provides a useful case study.
To Lagos State government, we also appreciate you. We have seen preparation left and right. We say it before now, security is for security operatives. But we have come to see that security is by all, is for all, and must be done by all.
Let them have drone surveillance all over Lagos State. Now, if you have drone surveillance, it will help your response system because you will see the crime as it is being committed.
As a pace-setting and proactive state, Lagos has aligned with the federal government strategy through long-established local initiatives such as the state-owned Lagos Neighborhood Safety Corps, which provides visible community-based policing, effectively multiplying manpower at the grassroots level. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
We now shift attention to tax matters. Evasion of tax by eligible taxpayers has been identified as one major reason behind the increased rate of banditry and other criminal activities. This came to the fore at the joint security briefing and parley between Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, and security agencies in Lagos. Bolaji Akim tells us more.
Globally, payment of tax is considered obligatory for every taxable individual and organization. Investigation, however, has revealed that while some pay less than what is expected, others practically evade payment of taxes. This parley between Federal Inland Revenue Service and security agencies is to rub minds and be on the same page in revenue drive and improve tax-generated income for the country.
For government to be able to revamp our security architecture, revenue has to be generated. Incidentally, where those revenue could be generated are areas that are high tension areas. And FIRS cannot do it all alone.
We have ICPC and EFCC, to mention a few, that are actually collaborating together to make sure illicit funds or people that don't want to remit their tax obligations cooperate with government.
While admitting that tax evasion is a criminal offense that must be treated with all seriousness, representatives of security agencies present agreed on the need to work together without sentiment and conflict of interest in order to bring tax evasion and defaulters to book.
At SFU, when we are investigating cases that involve tax evasion, money laundering, we work hand in hand with the NFIU. They have a lot of data. They sit on a gold mine of data that help our investigation.
Enforcement against inflated contracts that reduce tax revenue. The ICPC can prosecute this under the section 22(3) of the ICPC Act.
The gathering emphasized on the need to meet periodically and assess their performance in a drive to put the country's name among the Committee of Tax Compliance Nation. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Lagos. Muhammad is standing by in Kaduna for the next set of reports after this break. Don't go away.
Joining us here in Kaduna. Women in Kaduna State are intensifying advocacy for the passage of the Reserved Seats for Women Bill, a proposed legislation described as vital to increasing female representation in Nigeria's parliament. Suraj Abdullahi reports that stakeholders believe the bill, currently before the National Assembly, will serve as catalyst for strengthening democracy and achieving greater gender balance in governance. The report.
A bill to reserve seats for women into elective positions is before the National Assembly. To this end, women in Kaduna renewed their call for lawmakers to accelerate work on the reserve seats for women bill. They noted that the bill, if passed into law, will provide more opportunities for women to participate actively in politics and decision-making at both national, state, and local levels. At this gathering, civil society organizations and gender advocates stress that Nigeria continues to lag behind in terms of women parliamentary representation, insisting that reserving a specific number of seats for women is necessary to correct historical imbalance and foster inclusive leadership.
Can you imagine a home existing without a woman? Now imagine that a nation as blessed as Nigeria, as big as Nigeria, does not have sufficient women adding their voices to the policy and lawmaking in the country.
The time has come for you to look at yourselves in the mirror, have an introspection of your political journey.
The advocates urged the National Assembly to prioritize the bill, noting that improved representation of women will contribute to more responsive governance and a stronger democratic process.
If you check in the Green Chamber, we only have 3.9% for women there, and Senate we only have 2.8 or thereabouts. It's a good thing for this bill to be passed.
With this bill, definitely they will see a difference because politics cannot even exist without women.
National Assembly is expected to look into the reserved seats for women bill in Kaduna. Suraj Abdullahi, NTA News.
Efforts to empower Nigerian youth to be self-employed is gaining ground as new generation of thinkers and problem solvers are stepping forward with innovations. Haruna Muhammad reports that at the center of the movement is the Young Africa Innovates Program, a UNDP and MasterCard Foundation partnership committed to advancing youth-led innovation to strengthen development across the country. This report.
Fatima Suleiman and Galadima George are outstanding young Nigerians who have shown creativity and commitment during their training. They showcased their projects and shared their journey, expressing how the program has sharpened their skills and confidence.
I process dates into date powder, date syrup, and date coffee because of the high prevalence of sicknesses like diabetes, toothache and cavities. These are all caused by consumption of processed sugar.
We actually converted animal urine to liquid manure.
In a country brimming with ideas and youthful energy, the Young Africa Innovates program is unlocking a new era of homegrown ingenuity designed to run across 13 states in the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria, providing tools, structures, and mentorship needed to refine bold ideas into scalable markets and ready solutions.
The education is not just restricted to the 4 walls of the classrooms. The importance of education is application. So whatever it is people learn, they can come and use innovations like this to apply what they have learned.
What's quite interesting about this program, it's the ethos of the program, which is inclusivity.
From 2023 to 2025, 1,348 participants have been equipped with skills in innovation. 29 of them successfully moved to the final stage in Kaduna. They were presented with certificates at the end of the training, marking their successful completion of the empowerment program for 4 months. With thousands of young people stepping forward and Innovates program, Nigeria will be better for it. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
And that's the size of our bulletin from this end. Nationwide continues in our Abuja studio. Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks so much, Ajingi in Kaduna. About 650 constituents from Ondo Central Senatorial District have received various forms of support under the Renewed Hope Mega Empowerment Program aimed at improving livelihood and strengthening economic participation in the districts. The initiative, championed by the senator representing Ondo Central, Adeniyi Adegbomire, is designed to enhance the socio-economic status of constituents through targeted empowerment. Abiola Ario reports.
Various items distributed to the beneficiaries include tricycles, motorcycles, deep freezers, and other essential tools aimed at boosting businesses and supporting daily activities. Selected schools across the 6 local government areas in the senatorial district received notebooks and school bags to support students' education, while widows, artisans, and traders were given cash gifts to sustain their families and small-scale enterprises. Beneficiaries expressed gratitude, describing the support as life-changing and a boost to their businesses and household welfare.
I will eat what I want. I will do what I want with this keke. I will be using this motorcycle to at least move up and down.
Senator Adeniyi Adegbomire, who initiated the empowerment program, described it as a way of giving back to his constituents and appreciating their trust in him.
I am happy to continue to support Mr. President. Since he cannot do everything himself, those of us who are supporting must do everything to ensure that people feel the impact of Mr. President.
Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa represented commended the initiative, noting that the current administration, in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu, prioritizes governance that meaningfully impact lives.
To the beneficiaries, embrace the tools placed in your hands.
Dignitaries at the event emphasized that the empowerment program has provided a significant boost to residents of Ondo Central, enhancing economic capacity, supporting livelihood, and promoting inclusive development. In Akure, Abiola Ario, NTA News.
The National Councillors Forum of Nigeria has rallied round President Bola Tinubu's declaration of state of emergency in the security sector and assures the people of continued collaboration to defeat enemies of the state. This was during the 2025 annual conference with the theme, Councillors, Inevitable Democratic Tools for the Economy and Security Development of the Nation. The conference highlighted grassroots security, commerce, financial autonomy, democratic dividends, and purposeful leadership in meeting the demands of local people.
It's an annual event where the councillors gather together to share ideas and cross-fertilize ideas so that each state or zone will know what is happening, where there is need for improvement, where there is need to copy one another for good.
As far as Nigerian security is concerned, we all need to give a kudos to our president. The president have declared emergency in the issue of security in Nigeria.
It is our major concern that we reach out to the governors at our various state level to ensure that local government autonomy comes to work.
All we need to do as legislators is to improve in our laws and make sure that we enact laws that give our people the dividend of that democracy.
The forum appealed to the president to continue to prioritize local government needs and enhance all frontiers of strengthening of local government administration in the country. Now, women have long been celebrated as the reservoir that pour into families and nations, often at the expense of their own replenishment. Now, a new initiative is working to change that narrative. The Concerned Sisters Forum has been launched in Abuja with a mandate to unite women for political, financial, and social self-reliance. Rabiat Shaib reports.
It is often said that when women gather, energy shifts. And here that energy is being channeled into strategy, survival, and success. Members from across various states have converged with one motto, bonding for progress. The mission is clear, to create a united sisterhood.
When you empower a woman, they say you empower a nation. We need to empower ourselves. You can't give what you don't have. So being in this forum, you are sure to know that, yes, your life will be impacted.
We are here to help ourselves and then to help other sisters that hadn't got the privilege to be with us.
The forum aims to become a space for women to voice their concerns, access financial support, participate in politics, and receive mentorship to become self-reliant.
Our programs are basically looking at agriculture, investment, those who are into services, and those who do not even have the skills to start a business.
The Concerned Sisters Forum hopes to turn shared struggles into collective strength, building bridges, nurturing alliances, and empowering women to rise together. Rabia Shaib, NTA News.
Let's go to Southwest in Osun State, which has domesticated the Nigerian Startup Act as part of a major push for innovation and digital transformation. Femi Afariogun reports that Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State, as a tech hangout with entrepreneurs, also signed the Osun State Electricity Market Bill into law.
In that, Osun is rapidly emerging as a hub for investment and innovation. He noted that the newly signed electricity market law will open the energy sector to private investment, diversify the state's power mix, and improve consumer satisfaction.
Our administration is not only building roads and bridges, we are delivering on tech innovation and digital economy empowerment.
Through ICT training and skill development initiatives, we are preparing the next generation to succeed in our digital economy.
Currently is developing the digital economy blueprint for the state, and this is going to be the first of its kind, not even in Osun State alone, but across Nigeria, and this is going to take us for the next 30 years, regardless of whoever is in the custodial of power in the state.
At the event, the governor also announced that Osun will host the Osun Tech Festival from February 19 to 20, 2026. In Osogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA.
Still on Osun digital economy and the governor's signing of the Startup Act, let's join Femi Afariogun in Osogbo to tell us more on what this portends for the future of the tech sector. Femi, let's have your thoughts. Seem to be having a slight challenge connecting with Femi to bring us up to speed with the digital economy in Osun State and the tech setup that we're having there. Hopefully we can join him in the course of this bulletin. But at this moment, let's go to the northeast again. We're at our Maiduguri Network Center. Wadia is sitting in there to give us the next set of reports.
Thank you for joining us in Maiduguri. Now, Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to restoring the dignity of victims of insurgency, including Nigerian refugees taking shelter in Cameroon, Chad, and Niger. The governor gave the assurance while addressing refugees at the Minawao camp in Cameroon's far north region as part of ongoing effort to repatriate more than 12,000 Nigerians from Kirawa, Ngoshi, Ashigashia, and surrounding communities in Goza local government area who have lived in the camp for over a decade. Mohammed Goni reports.
Governor Zulum's visit brought significant relief and renewed hope among the refugees. Many describe his presence as their first real assurance that the long journey home was finally becoming a reality. the governor informed them that adequate security measures have been put in place in their home communities following years of intensified military operations and strengthened civilian security initiatives across Goza and other parts of Borno. He also announced cash support for shelter rehabilitation to assist those willing to return to begin rebuilding their homes. In addition, the governor pledged to provide boreholes to improve access to water for the returnees. Governor Zulum further reveals that in partnership with the federal government, the state will provide 500,000 naira to each returning refugee, while female-headed households will receive 100,000 naira each.
The security situation in the place of various NGOs are gradually returning to normalcy, and I want to assure you that the Nigerian Army has restructured its own institutional arrangement that will ensure a return of normalcy to all local government areas in Borno State as well as in Nigeria, inshallah.
Governor of the Far North region of Cameroon, Mijinyawa Bakari, commended Governor Zulum's commitment, describing his continued support for displaced Nigerians in Cameroon as exemplary and deeply humanitarian. He acknowledged the sustained assistance, particularly the governor's long-standing intervention at the Minanwao refugees camp. During the visit, Professor Zulum also inspected farmlands allocated to the refugees by the Cameroonian authorities, which have become a major source of livelihood. While assessing the fields, he praised the resilience of the refugees and the generosity of their hosts, assuring farmers that his administration will support them with irrigation kits and water sources to boost production. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
Borno State branch of the Nigerian Red Cross Society marked this year's International Volunteers Day with a special gathering, calling on its members to remain dedicated to the humanitarian values and responsibilities of the organization wherever they serve. Fatima Isa has the rest of the story.
With the theme, Solidarity Through Volunteerism, the program focused on the powerful role volunteers play in supporting vulnerable communities and bringing hope through humanitarian assistance. Delivering the keynote address, Professor Ibrahim Umara spoke on the importance of selfless service and global humanitarian action, encouraging members of the society to remain faithful to the Red Cross mandate in their daily work.
The Red Cross will move into an area classified by the Nigerian state as an enemy territory and at the same time operating within the jurisdiction of the Nigerian state.
Borno State Branch Secretary of the Nigerian Red Cross Society, Muhammad Zanna Burma, stressed the need to continually reach out to those in need, urging volunteers to remain committed to serving communities facing hardship.
Anywhere people saw Red Cross, already sure has come to them, and this is our spirit. We are for the humanity, and we shall continuously make them happy. The
event also brought together partners, agency and volunteer organizations, including NEMA, OCHA, SEMA, and the Northeast Development Commission, who pledged to strengthen collaboration to pursuit of shared humanitarian goals. In Maiduguri, Fatima Isa, NTA News.
And that is our contribution from Maiduguri. It's back to Ayodeji for the continuation of Nationwide. Ayodeji, take it up from here.
Much appreciated, Wadiam, in our Maiduguri Network Center. Now the connection with Femi is stable, and we can go back to Oshogbo for him to tell us more about the digital economy and the signing of the Start-up Act by the governor, that's Ademola Adeleke, and what this portends for the future. Femi, tell us more, the tech way.
The signing, thank you, Ayodeji. The signing of the Domesticated Startup Act mark a new chapter in Osho State, especially for young innovators and startups looking for government-backed support and a structured environment to grow their ideas into viable enterprises. To ensure this does not end on paper, Governor Ademola Adeleke set up what is called the Osho Startup Implementation Team, a multi-layered working group with operational responsibility. The team consists of the Ministry of Innovation, Science, Technology and Digital Economy, which will serve as the coordinating body. We also have, as part of the team, as startup founders, digital entrepreneurs across Osho State, who represent the interest of the innovation community. We have the academic, where people are drawn from universities, polytechnics. We have the private sector player. The governor is very, very clear with this. He doesn't want this to be on paper alone. The expectation from the implementation team is that for them to develop the startup ecosystem, build capacity, create jobs, attract investment, and ensure that Osun becomes a competitive tech hub ahead of the 2026 Tech Festival slated for February next year.
I'd like to thank you for that quick update, and of course we expect it to draw lots of attention from the productive population in the state. Thanks once again. Minister of Works David Umahi has expressed the commitment of the federal government to foster strong collaboration with the Chadian government towards addressing common challenges, including realizing the proposal for direct transportation link between Nigeria and Chad. Explaining to his Chadian counterpart who paid him a visit in Abuja, Works Minister emphasizes the need to leverage the mutual cooperation between the two countries to enhance security and the economy, and by extension projects the shared strength of the Sahel region towards realizing the full economic potential of the African continent. The Chadian Minister of Infrastructure expresses the desire of his country to establish a direct transportation link between Chad and Nigeria, which majorly is the construction of the bridge over the Lake Chad, which is 65 kilometers. He points to the potential of the transportation corridor to include regional connectivity and accessibility, economic development, political and diplomatic cooperation. Earlier, Minister of Works received in audience the delegation from the Secretariat of the ECOWAS Commission, who came to brief him on the outcome of the technical studies, financial options and next steps for the implementation of the Abuja-Lagos Corridor Highway Development Projects. And on that note, I'd like to appreciate you for your time. This is Nationwide. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. On behalf of the entire production crew and all of us here in Abuja, good evening.